Hello, everyone. We're talking about Indian food in the United States of America because that is where I am. So, if you happen to Google Indian food in the United States of America, I think all it'll talk about are naan, curry, samosa, chai, and maybe a biryani. We all know that Indian food is definitely not only this. I'd say I don't know Indian food in its entirety yet. I have not even traveled the length and breadth of our beautiful country to be able to talk in detail. I have been a private banker for a major part of my life. Speaking publicly, especially when it comes to food, doesn't come easily to me. Although my dad has been a television personality and he always wanted me to be on screen. I have only recently started reading and writing about food, and I really enjoy it now. So, I am Neha, and I'm here today to talk to all of you about something that I'm extremely passionate about, and that is food. To some, food may mean survival. If you ask me, food symbolizes love, pure, unconditional love. Food is nostalgia, the comfort of home. वो घर की याद, घर का एहसास, and of course, माँ की रसोई. Indian food would definitely top the list because that is something we grew up with. I have always loved cooking and playing around in the kitchen. I get it from mom, I guess, like most of us. There are early memories of her kitchen in Delhi and the food stories she would tell us of her growing up in the state of Rajasthan. The experience of farm to table started all the way back then for me. Now that I'm a mother myself, I want to recreate the same experiences for my daughters, who, like most other kids their age, tend to get easily distracted by quick and easy meals. Fresh food is very important to me because I feel responsible for what goes inside their body. My attempt via all that I share on social media, via my Instagram handle and on Facebook as well, um, by the name of My Masala Box, is to showcase Indian cuisine as a beautiful mix of indulgence and simplicity. So I grew up in New Delhi and lived there for a major part of my life. Very vibrant and full of life. Food is big in Delhi, as we all know. I moved out and we lived in Singapore for nearly a decade. Singapore is heaven when it comes to food. There is no dearth of good South Indian food in Singapore, but it was tough to find good North Indian food we associate while growing up. We moved to the US recently, a new country, no familiar faces to hang out with. A lot of time at hand made me spend most of my energy in the kitchen, creating new dishes, playing around with local flavors, and at the same time, keeping our food in the center because why not? I slowly started sharing snippets of my daily life and moments in the kitchen, and went on to sharing recipes of the food I cook and eat on a daily basis on Instagram, basically. Um, I guess people identify most with day-to-day food and experiences. चलिए अब यूएस में इंडियन फूड इंग्रेडिएंट्स की अवेलेबिलिटी के बारे में थोड़ा बात करते हैं. जब हम यूएस शिफ्ट हुए, वी वर इनिशियली इन अ वेरी स्मॉल टाउन नियर शिकागो वेयर आई बी ऑनेस्ट, हमें लगा कोई नहीं रहता होगा, इंडियंस तो डेफिनेटली नहीं. But in a matter of few months, we met and interacted with about 15 to 20 Indian families. And trust me, there are a lot more living there who had happily been living there for the last 10 years, some even more, and proudly called it home. There were two grocery stores, small but very well stocked with whatever one could possibly need in your kitchen on a daily basis. I myself was pretty happy with whatever I got from there. So from basic spices to other khada masalas, tel, ghee, har kisam ke dale, basic Indian vegetables, atta, rice, सब कुछ available था. The Gujarati uncle who used to run the store, basically who runs the store, had set up shop more than 25 years ago. In the evenings, they would even sell fresh bhajiyas and samosas. For a while before that, my husband was in another small town, Idaho, up north, which again, despite being small, had two basic grocery stores which functioned pretty well. After some time, about I think over a year later, we moved to New Jersey, and what a revelation that was. New Jersey has an abundance of Indian ingredients, and the local farmers market here has beautiful fresh produce. I read a lot more about food now and love the fact that I do not have to go around hunting for ingredients, be it Indian or otherwise. Most of the stores here are very well stocked. There are about 3 to 4 well sized and extremely well stocked Indian grocery stores here within 2 miles from where I live, which, trust me, is a big blessing for us. There is a Middle Eastern store, there is a big Pakistani store, which has all that one could possibly need in your kitchen. I'll be honest, I have started to use so much more in terms of ingredients here in the US, which I did not even taste back in Delhi or Singapore. And in the beginning, I used to be apprehensive. जब भी मैं दिल्ली जाती थी, कुछ ना कुछ basic spices या एक दो और ingredients लेके आती थी because I was not sure of the standards here. But nothing for the last 2 years. We have started to get a lot of good quality organic ingredients, good quality oils, good quality ghee, good quality spices are available here, which truly lend such good flavor to our everyday cooking. I have also started making my own ghee at home, which again is a blessing because I know a lot of people still get ghee back from India. Yes, you're right. Or whenever they have parents visiting, they do get a lot. They do get homemade ghee from their homes, but we have started to get very good quality grass-fed cow milk butter, which makes excellent ghee. We also have all possible cooking utensils, Indian cookware available at the stores here or even online, which one may need on a daily basis for our cooking. For example, kadhai, lohe ka tawa, all the cooking utensils, karchi, chakla belan, idli dhokla stands. Nothing is. I mean, we have everything is available here. Now let's talk about eating out, or let's talk about the Indian restaurants here. I have not been here long enough to explore this huge country, but whatever little I explored in the places I have lived in and during our travel within the country, within the US basically, I would say we still have a long way to go for the world to know our food, which is beyond naan, curry, and samosa. Um, I'm not the first person to say this, but sometimes it does get tough to get a good cup of chai when you're out on the road. Trust me, it is not tough to find an Indian restaurant. When you search on Google Maps, there is one in the remotest of towns as well. Even in the beach towns, if you search, you will find an Indian restaurant. Most of the times in small places, there will be a grocery store and a live kitchen in the second half. But I have also shared it often here on my social media that how a simple chai, sometimes prepared by a fellow Indian in an Indian restaurant, has disappointed us so much that we wished we were at a Starbucks instead. So there are a few dishes that have become famous in the Indian cuisine and have that tag, although we know that our food is much more than just butter chicken, dal makhani, naan, paneer saag, or saag paneer, like most of us would call. I would say one cannot define Indian cuisine. We cannot limit or restrict Indian cuisine. It is much more than what the world perceives it to be. Indian food cannot definitely be restricted to Punjabi cuisine or South Indian food. We know it is more than that. There is so much good food in the whole country waiting to be explored. I feel we really need to read more and educate or make make the world aware a lot more than that. As of now, one can go anywhere in the world and find an Indian restaurant serving these dishes, samosa and chai, not chai tea, definitely. That's what I keep telling my girls all the time. We avoid going to restaurants that are a fusion of sorts and serve a mishmash of everything. I try definitely and not avoid try and avoid ordering a dosa at a Punjabi or a Mughlai restaurant, and neither would I order a dahi bhala papri chaat at a vegetarian South Indian restaurant. There are many who do, and then they complain and give the place a bad review. Yes, there will be exceptions, exceptions like very rare exceptions where I would, and I have personally experienced it, where I would get a fantastic paneer butter masala dish in an authentic Tamil South Indian vegetarian restaurant. But yes, again, those exceptions are very rare. Um, Sadly, although loved by many, I feel Indian food hasn't really arrived in this country as compared to Mexican and Chinese food restaurants, which are so easily accessible across the US. If you would have seen the recent curry episode on the Ugly Delicious series on Netflix, you would know what I'm talking about. I read recently that while there are about 40 to 50,000 Mexican and Chinese food restaurants in this country, we just have about 5,000 Indian restaurants. It is a surprising number. I was shocked to see that as well. Americans, as I know them, do have a strong inclination towards Indian cuisine. I have seen personally how delighted they are when ordering at an Indian restaurant. And I think it is the onus of the people running the restaurant to educate them and to create new dishes, to introduce them to um, regional Indian dishes and not keep their menu so restricted. Americans do love a good buffet. They love tasting small portions. And when explained well, they love to hear the stories and emotions behind all our dishes. Upscale Indian dining somehow isn't sustainable for long here. People may go visit once for an experience, a second time maybe to celebrate a special day, but they'd rather go back to places they can afford on a daily basis. Most of the times, I feel Indian food is detailed, involves a number of ingredients and stages. The preparation of Indian food is labor intensive and expensive as compared to other ethnic cuisines, as we all know. Um, I live in New Jersey where there are Indian restaurants at every nook and corner, uh, and the preparation of Indian food within a certain price range, especially outside the home country, um, somehow doesn't work. Maybe for to the benefit of the to the customer over here who are looking for quick and easy meals and inexpensive as well. Um, Sometimes here, when I'm in New Jersey, whenever I am at Indian grocery store, I really get disappointed when I see staff of these small restaurants who are there buying boxes of frozen samosa and frozen gulab jamun to be reheated and served to its guest diners later. It is disappointing, and you really do not want to go visit such a restaurant. On the other hand, there are restaurants that have the best quality standards also, and we know that we are being served fresh food. We keep going back. Yes, it may come at a premium, but you know you are being served fresh, good quality Indian food. On the other hand, uh, there is also a notion that Indian food is pricey, but it may not always be the case. I have seen and been to Gujarati family run home style restaurants where within a very good price range, pretty decent price range, not very expensive, um, we do get very homely Gujarati meals, Gujarati thalis, complete with all the homemade pickles, homemade theplas, khakras, which do remind you of home. They make homemade sweets, and it is really very, very comforting. I know Marathi friends who have craved their cuisine for a while and then later discovered homely meals which work just fine for them. There are, I'm sure most of you would know how New Jersey is densely populated with a big South Asian community, Indian community, where we have Gujarati aunties who do offer the facility to have food picked up from them. They prepare very nice homely meals for anybody who would be interested, bachelors, small families who would have a busy schedule because of their travels. I have also tried out fancy restaurants that have failed miserably because of high standards they maintain and food not living up to expectations. But I have also been to some that have exceeded expectations and checked all the parameters so much that we want to go back, even if it means driving over 4 hours to another state. Restaurants and places like this have rightly redefined Indian cuisine. And trust me, it is a pride to dine there with so many non Indian diners. Um, Food, I would say, still is a strong emotion. And of course, I don't think that will ever end, that will ever cease to be. Basically, food is still a very strong emotion among the South Asian community here. We still meet and connect over food. Friends, neighbors from different regions, different backgrounds will meet over food. And we love creating, we love sharing, we love cooking, and we love eating with friends from different cultures and backgrounds. We all know, and I'm not the first person to say this, that there is so much good food waiting to be explored from our country. And sadly, if a restaurant keeps its menu restricted to a couple of dishes only, like I mentioned, like a curry, like a naan, and curry is such a wide, such a not correctly used word, I would say that if a restaurant keeps itself restricted to a paneer or a curry dish or a naan only and a samosa and a chai, you definitely don't want to go and eat at a restaurant unless they have something special to offer. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the life. Uh, take care, all of you. Have a lovely weekend.